Political panel time. Let me introduce them to you. Democratic strategist John McCarthy. And it's important for the conversation today. Served as senior advisor for President Biden and was the administration's emissary liaison to the Catholic Church. And Republican strategist T.W. Arrighi, right?
Nailed it.
Excellent.
Nailed it. Nicely
excellent.
done.
A lot of challenging names today. I bollocks them a lot, but I got that one all right. Most recently served as National Press Secretary for the Senate Republican Campaign Committee, and you also worked for Lindsey Graham, right?
I did.
Okay.
I did indeed.
So, Eric Swalwell, John, I want to get your interpretation of this because we are talking about an incredibly compressed time schedule. Allegations, very serious ones, that were backed up by some medical records, some contemporaneous notifications to friends, family from some of the victims. Swalwell denies it. Lots of pressure. People start pulling endorsements. And then out of Congress within 3 days, less than 3 days.
Yeah. And I mean, yes, the timeline is compressed, but I think that all of these conversations need to start from a place of saying how, the bravery of the women that came forward really grounds this entire thing. And I will say that while the timeline was compressed, I mean, it was pretty unified in terms of the party. I mean, his lead endorsers, some people who said that they were close friends, rescinded endorsements very quickly. You saw it basically from House leadership. You saw it from a lot of the kind of party elders. You saw it from his own staff.
And in California Democratic politics, Nancy Pelosi is super important. Has outsized importance and was close to Eric Swalwell.
Yes. And to me, I mean, I think that that is something that is very telling between the political parties at this moment. I think the Democrats have tried to make clear that this is something that our party is not going to have any tolerance for. So, I mean, between the staff activists, the people who worked for him and the elected officials in our party, it was a compressed timeline, but I think it shows you that Democrats don't want anything to do with this.
And to John's point, TW, the question of Epstein and whether or not you are treating that as something that's about the victims and their pursuit of justice, or if you're politicizing it, as some Republicans have alleged Democrats are doing, if a Swalwell thing comes up, you only have one choice.
Yeah, and that's why you're seeing those moves to expel members of both parties coming up right now and why they're gaining more traction. Look, John and I have both worked on Capitol Hill, and we were just saying—
and I was there for years.
Yeah, you always hear whispers of wrongdoing. It's not new, members of Congress behaving poorly. But in our current age, in our digital age, those whispers can spread much quicker. And people now have larger platforms than they ever had as staffers and otherwise. So I think it's not new, but there's a lot more that's still rotten in Congress and that's going to come out.
And as both of you know, as Hill staffers, there is an interpretation of the Ethics Committee as it's either there to protect or to sort of gently, through a long and drawn-out investigatory process, nudge the baddest actors out. But it's an elongated process. The congressman from Virginia acknowledged that. This compressed time schedule tells us, in Swalwell's case, if things are bad enough, forget the Ethics Committee. It can go really quickly.
I would also just add, though, I do think that this is a generational shift in both parties. As younger members in both the Democratic and Republican Party are trying to find ways to move up, they're looking around, and I mean, the tolerance for this is just the old boys club of Washington thing is just totally over. I mean, something that might have been able to had a blind eye towards it, a couple decades ago, is completely gone now in Washington.
Or play it off, or let it see if it'll die down.
Exactly.
Again, with social media the way it is, you can't hide it anymore very well.
Yes, right.
And so a lot of these members
who are
behaving
amplified very quickly.
Absolutely, and you're going to see a lot more downfalls.
And John, we're going to talk about this on the other side of the break, but I want to get this started. The Pope and the President of the United States and the Vatican. It's like a throwdown.
Yeah.
Your impressions.
I mean, where to even almost begin on this? I mean, first off, I think we're both Catholic school kids. You would never pick a fight with the Pope. I mean, that's just like a good kind of like rule of thumb to start with.
Of course, I remember that in 2016, Trump did. He wasn't even nominee yet.
And I mean, I would say this, though, right? Like, we think of things in a political lens. We're here in Washington. The Pope, 8 out of 10 American Catholics have a positive feeling towards the Holy Father. Donald Trump's approval rating on the best day ever comes nowhere close to that. So just from sheer politics, I mean, him going after the Pope is a ridiculous move.
American Pope.
Exactly. And I mean, there are 36 states in this country where Americans or where Catholics make up the majority of people of faith in those states. And if you're a Republican in Congress, right, and the president is going after the Pope, the biggest concentrations of those places are California, New York, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Iowa. The overlap with all of that is that those places are some of the most competitive House seats coming up in this election. So, I mean, every single day, President Trump gives you something that you want to kind of run away from as a House Republican, but this one is particularly bad.
TW, I'm going to give you a chance to jump in on that, but when we come back from the other side of the break,
not
we
a
have
problem.
2 panels, not just one. Sometimes I get a little deprived of the second panel. Not tonight.